Welcome to the After the Show movie podcast, brought to you by your hosts, Ace Scully and Sid Talk. We're addicted to movies. Are you? Welcome. Hello, Sid Talk.
Yellow.
How are you doing?
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm doing good.
Good. Well
feeling robotic?
Yes.
I am AI. I am fine.
All right. What's the before the after the show discussion?
Before the show? Before the after the show discussion?
Yes. You know how this works. Come on.
The before the after the show discussion was making a cup of tea, fixing my microphone.
Aye. Bye.
You discussed making a plant-based bacon sandwich, but you failed because there was no bread thawed. These are very high dynamic situation, comedy conversation.
Correct.
Other than that?
So I just went hungry.
Well, we noticed a limb fell off a tree in our front yard. Again,
We did.
It's riveting stuff.
We're reviewing The Woman in the Yard and also the limb off the tree in the yard at the same time.
Oh my God.
All right. That was a bit of a spoiler. So it's Saturday, May the 3rd. Happy May Day. Is May Day already gone?
Is it May 1st or May 5th? I never know.
It's the 3rd. I don't know. Let's say it's the 3rd. Happy May Day, everybody.
It is a day in the month of May.
It is. And today we are in the 3rd day of May. Happy May Day, everybody. We're on After the Show 889. We're a movie review podcast every week. We look at a new movie. This week is no exception when we look at the movie The Woman in the Yard. It's a 2025 release out now on streaming. And if you stay tuned to the end of this podcast, you will have the opportunity of winning one of 2 digital codes that we've got to give away for this movie.
Or the opportunity.
Yes. The movie's rated PG-13. Its runtime is 1 hour and 28 minutes, and it's from our friends at Blumhouse who gave us the copies to give away. Sid Talk, can you give us the synopsis of The Woman in the Yard?
There's a woman in a house with 2 children, and then there's a woman in the yard. And then there's a woman in the yard, and then she moves closer to the house, and
there's a woman in the yard.
It's Blumhouse, so you know there's going to be some creepy shit going on, and that is not what's on the box.
Does the poster kind of make it seem like there's a woman in the yard? Yeah. I mean, it really does, doesn't it?
I mean, the name kind of tells you. I don't know why they picked that title. No. Unless, was it a book or something where the woman in the yard lasted a whole lot longer than the woman in the yard?
It was not a book. It was, and it's the first script for somebody.
Okay.
Yeah. I just was looking that up. All right. I'll give you the one off the box. A mysterious woman repeatedly appears in a family's front yard, often delivering chilling warnings and unsettling messages, leaving them to question her identity, motives, and the potential danger she might pose.
Got it.
Yes. All right. The Woman in the Yard, the latest Blumhouse movie. Sid Talk, how did you like it?
I enjoyed it because it's quality. Surprisingly, with Blumhouse. I know that's
controversial. Yeah.
Controversial. Performances, fantastic. The people, the story, I really actually enjoyed it. It's just that then
spoilers. Let's say there will be spoilers in this review. As usual. We'll talk spoilers.
So if you know Blumhouse and it's horror, then there's usually some sort of mystical, magical, hidden horror bad guy / villain / whatever, right? Yeah. And in this situation, it's the woman in the yard, in case you didn't notice the title. But the woman in the yard represents something else. And it's a very delicate subject.
Yeah. And it even has a warning at the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah. From the poster and the title and it being a Blumhouse movie. They even on the poster say, from Blumhouse, the producers of Megan. You know, they're very so all that information, just small amount of information, me being a film goer, understands all that. So I thought there's a woman in the yard and then it goes like apeshit, like The Conjuring. Everything starts flying around. There's demons, all that kind of thing. It kind of does that, but then also it subverts all that and does something a bit different. I liked all that part of it. But I have a problem. I don't understand the rules.
Yeah. So we're just going to do the big spoiler and say what it is.
It's a woman in a yard.
I know, but shall we?
Yes.
Okay, so the actual boogie person here is the urge for someone to commit suicide. And that's who the lady in the yard is. This woman who was in this house with these 2 kids. Her husband has recently died. It's clear. We make that clear. And she is tormented. And then we find out she wasn't happy in her life. She's not happy now in her life particularly, but the urge to end her life.
It's like the voice on your shoulder.
Yes, that is the woman in the yard. And it is overpowering, and it gives her visions of harming her children. It gives her visions of, or it gives her moments of being like really erratically angry with them. And then, so that is what the woman in the yard is all about. Yeah. And while that's terrifying and horrible, you're right. It isn't like, hey, every time a person thinks of suicide, this creature appears. No. And here's what the rules are. So one of the rules is clear. She's out in the yard, and then her shadow is the only thing that can touch the house or touch anything physically. Yes. So her shadow stretches, and that was pretty cool visually.
And almost crushes things down.
Right. And then there's a theme of the mirror. So the mirror in the movie, and then there's also the theme of dreams. So it's a little bit confusing. We open up with the dude who has now died telling us he had this perfect dream. The house was finished. They live in a farmhouse, so it's all kind of in the process of getting fixed up, right? He dreams that it's all fixed up and it's perfect and they're having a great time. So there's an alternate reality, right? Because this woman's reality is she's unhappy. Then we see references to mirrors constantly. We see her in the mirror. The child keeps writing her letter R backwards. And then they go to then when they're in town, if you look on the marquee of the movie, it's like the name of the movie has a mirror in it. I saw that, yeah. Has a backwards R in it. So we're seeing flipping, like the reality versus non-reality, like the upside down. You know what I mean? And that becomes a theme as we go and get near the end even more. That is her reality being miserable and sad and depressed? Or is her reality the good family and then this creature comes to haunt her? Whatever. It's a little bit confusing. However, when you put it all together, because they're all so good, right?
It feels like as a short film, it would have worked better than as a longer film. Because there were parts where I was like, I can see what it's going for, but it feels like there's something missing. Like I don't understand it fully.
I'll tell you one thing that's missing, and it's a trope. And so in other movies, we would make fun of it, but we don't have a person who shows up on the farm, like who owns the bookshop in town or who's dealt with this. So we just watched Presence, right?
Yeah, that did have that.
And in that, we had a woman who understands what's going on. She can feel the presence. She can explain what the presence is, blah, blah, blah. We have it in Poltergeist, the lady, this house is clean. She can come and tell you what's going on. We didn't have that in this movie. So we don't have any exposition to tell us what the hell's going on.
And it's isolationist, so there's no like phoning the police because the phones are not charged.
Yes, we've established early on.
Also early on, the electric has been cut off because she can't pay the bills. So there's no way to charge the phone. What else is missing? Oh, they can't get in the car because the car's broken.
Yep.
So there's no leaving. They have to deal with the situation there.
So you could say symbolically, she feels trapped.
Right. Yes.
So again, is this her real reality or is this the mirror reality?
Yeah.
Because in the end,
you don't know.
You don't know because
they still don't know.
Keep you guessing.
Yeah. So if you don't like that kind of thing where it's not really explained and the rules are dicey, if anything, like sometimes, like I'm like, why can the kids see the woman in the yard? Is that really happening?
That is a good point. Oh my gosh. Hey, Scully,
Or do the kids never see the woman in the yard and that's just what she's thinking? But the way it's shown to us, it's almost like it's reality. That the kids are going, what's that out there?
He confronts her, he sees... Yeah.
Yeah, and when he confronts her with the gun, it's not like that would be in mum's head because that's separate, right?
But see, what the little girl sees is her, that she is the woman. Oh my God.
That was where I was saying the rules didn't seem to make sense to me.
Okay. So you've added a whole new dimension. I'm going to have to think about this some more.
Yeah, I think the more you think about it, the more it falls apart. But the actual overall message, I quite liked it. So at the end where it was like, okay, we're talking about mental health. And yeah,
as a monster, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, of course. I sat there going, of course this is what it is. Because the opening shot of her not being able to get out of bed, not just because she has a leg that's broken and messed up, the fact that she's depressed.
She's lamenting her husband. And then you find she wasn't happy, and then she was driving the vehicle and he died. And so the guilt is, we don't get this explanation. You just have to pile on.
But I mean, it opens on a shot of her, and you instantly go, okay, she's depressed. She's when the kid comes in and she says, not now, let me wake up. And you're like, she doesn't want to get out of bed.
Correct.
I get it. And you get it fairly quickly. And then that was where I was like, oh, of course that's what it is. For a while, I thought we were just going the normal Blumhouse route of evil has turned up here for some reason. But that's not what it is. The middle part of the movie does turn into a generic Blumhouse horror movie. The parts in the attic, let me say.
Absolutely.
So they do all the horror stuff. Like there's jump scares, there's weapons flying around, there's weird stuff happening. But it's all, and then you're like, oh, okay, it's all in her mind. It's all in. But is it? Yeah. I mean, that stuff is. She's not seeing knives fly across the room and stuff, is she?
Or see, is she? You've cracked open a whole new way of me watching this movie.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot going on in the middle of this movie that wouldn't really be happening, but the kids seem to be in on it too.
Mm.
But then you can also, with any story, subtract, go, okay, the kids, nobody's in anything. We're all just sat in the living room and this is all happening in her brain. Right?
Yeah.
None of this is happening.
Yeah.
There isn't a woman in the yard. There isn't anything. It's just an afternoon in the house. We're all sat down and it's all unveiling in a brain. The kids are not even aware anything's happening. So that's probably really what's happening. But I don't think...
just making it up, though. We don't know.
Well, I don't think that's what I'm saying. You can't 100% confirm anything, can you?
True.
The image of the woman in the yard is very spooky.
Haunting, yes.
Especially when I didn't really know why she was there at the beginning. I thought the build-up to it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to escape or are we going to get rid of her? She won't go anywhere. She keeps getting closer to the house. I wanted to see like the in-between parts that we didn't see, where she's scooching a chair up the yard. But I don't think it works like that. She seems to appear and disappear, right? Like she's magic.
Well, if she's mad, see, it's the question mark.
Yeah.
What the hell is really going on?
I mean, you can imagine anything. So this lady who's completely depressed and broken is imagining.
True.
Anything. She can imagine anything, right? So, yeah, that's the kind of movie this is. And I had to look this up because I was like, normally Blumhouse films, Night Swim was one in particular that I was thinking about. A very generic looking. Like they look just ordinary. And this one somehow, it had some really nice, like blurry camera shots looking through glass. Interesting, I don't know, bokeh effects, all that kind of stuff. And then I was like, so I looked that up and it's the cinematographer who did Midsommar and Beau is Afraid. So that made sense. I was like, okay, that's why it looks a level above. And that's not to be an insult to Blumhouse. But it does look a level above like what they usually do.
Yes.
Because we watched the Blumhouse guy on Shark Tank. His whole thing is we have to make a movie that's horrific and people will love, but very, very cheap.
Yep.
The cheapest we can possibly make
We just want to make a lot of money.
And he said that straight. And when he said that to the camera on Shark Tank, I was like, okay, I understand your business now.
Yeah.
But this one seems and the acting level in this one is also higher.
Very good.
Than what I'm used to from Blumhouse. And I shouldn't tar Blumhouse I shouldn't look at the poster and go, oh, it's Blumhouse, so I know what I'm going to get. Because this is not what I was expecting.
It's going to reset your Blumhouse expectations.
Yeah. Now, whether this would be a crowd pleaser is another story, because Blumhouse are famous for making crowd pleasers. I don't think this is that. I think when we get to the IMDb reviews, people are going to say, this was boring. What the hell is this? There's not even a monster.
Yeah, some people will.
And it was boring. It was an hour and 30 minutes I want back. They're going to say that.
Absolutely.
So Blumhouse, they've got to have crowd pleasers, I guess, because that's the way they make money. But this one seems slightly different. Almost A24-ish, if I was to say.
That's almost high praise. Be careful.
Yeah. All right, let's get on to the cast. We've got Danielle Dedwaya as Ramona. She's our main lady. What do you think?
Excellent. I like everybody, so you're going to get that for me on everybody.
Watching this, I was thinking of M. Night Shyamalan movies too. It kind of reminded me of one of those. I was thinking there was going to be some huge twist. I was like, and I mean, there is a twist, but the twist is what we've just told you.
Yeah.
You don't go, oh my God, wow. Like, it's not that. Reminded me of the way.
Well, you and I don't do that, but someone might.
I guess Knock at the Cabin was the one I was thinking of when I was watching this. I was like, is this something like that? Is death here to do something? And it kind of is, if you think about it.
Yeah.
But it's not. The Woman in Black as well with Daniel Radcliffe is kind of like that. Did you ever watch that?
Don't think so. Daniel Radcliffe?
Yeah, Harry Potter.
I know who Daniel Radcliffe is.
Yeah. He played this Harry Potter guy. You ever heard of that?
Yeah. In A Woman with a Black Dress?
The Woman in Black.
Okay, I don't think so.
It's got a similar concept to this movie and also Knock at the Cabin at the Knock in the Woods, or whatever you call that one. Cabin at the Knock in the Woods.
The Cabin at the Knocking of the Woods.
We've got Okwi. I'm not going to be able to say this, but I will try. Okpokwasili. She's the woman in the yard.
She's
very
awesome.
Striking woman.
She's very striking, and I like her vibe. I like that she's intense, but not like mustache twirly evil. You know what I mean?
No, I thought she was good. She's menacing.
Menacing.
But also, there's some good makeup effect on her as well. We've got Peyton Jackson and Estella Kahila as Taylor and Annie. These are the two kids.
Excellent.
Who do a fantastic job, I have to say.
Absolutely fantastic.
Especially the young girl. Who, I don't know, sometimes she doesn't say a lot, but you always know what she's up to.
She's like a little grown up.
Yeah. And Russell Hornsby plays the dad. And as we said earlier, the dad's deceased in this movie. So anything you see is a flashback of him. But there is a scene in the middle of the movie, which is good, in the restaurant. And again, the acting is a level higher than usual. Directed by Jamie Calais Sarah. That's also probably butchered. He directed Orphan. You remember that one?
Yes. One of your faves?
Yeah, I really love it. The Shallows, I also really love it. If you think about The Shallows, there's another movie that takes place in one little spot like this one does. He also did Black Adam. I didn't really like that one with The Rock.
Yeah. It was all right.
No, but I'm a fan of this. The Shallows and Orphan, I think, are really good. I think this is fairly good too. And I don't know if he has a style, thinking about it. If you think of all those movies.
Very varied.
Yeah, all of those movies that he's made, there's nothing in common, I don't think. The Shallows is like a, I don't know, it's like a big action movie, but just in a small place. Orphan is it's kind of regular Orphan, isn't it? It's not got a stamp on it. And Black Adam is a DC movie. It doesn't really count. IMDb reviews, what are those?
Those are reviews on the IMDb database, where you like to find the 1-star reviews. And if anyone has been living under a rock, people love to give reviews, and we give them between 1 and 5 or 1 and 10. And you like the ones because they're usually people who say things like, go for it.
This is boring. I want some of my time back. Blah, blah, blah.
Waste of time. Worst movie ever made. All of the reviews are AI. Blah, 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 blah.
All right, the first guy says, "Woman in the trash." He says, "This movie is so bad, I felt compelled to write a review to save you time and money. From the start, it's clear that the plot is weak. The characters are poorly developed, making it impossible to connect with or care about anybody." And then it just drags on and on and on. And the ending is something you have to make up for yourself. That's
I don't disagree with that. And yet I can say that I like it. I'm not compelled to write a negative review. So, we're all different, even if we come to similar conclusions.
The second guy says, "The woman in the yard seen from the woman in the window and heard by the woman in the house." It cannot get more cliche than this. At this point, it seems like Blumhouse just regurgitates everything else that's already been done. They always end up being straight-to-video releases that don't offer anything but an occasional jump scare. Unfortunately, it seems this movie's about mental health, which sucks.
Well.
Yes. So that guy's not...
Is it the new villain now for people to want to address mental health issues? No, way to boo.
Yeah.
When in fact, let's really boil it down here. Let me give you some real Sid talk. Every story ever written by humans in one way or another is about our mental capacity and can be mental illness. Every dictator story or reality story, every story about man versus himself/herself, every story about man/woman versus nature is all about our mental fortitude, our ability to cope, our ability to problem solve. Every story is about mental health. So if you want to knock it, then don't ever watch or read or absorb any other stories by humankind ever again.
Exactly. Well said.
Thank you.
And the last guy says it needs a suicide warning prior to the movie showing, not at the end.
That's their whole review?
The actresses did well, but the subject matter is way too heavy and honestly very dangerous. This shouldn't be allowed to be watched as a PG-13 and needs more warnings about suicide at the beginning. Recently, here in Texas, there's been a lot of suicides. Most of the viewers I went to the theater with left the theater and didn't even see the after-credits suicide helpline. Please encourage theaters to put up signs or warnings before the movie. But it would spoil the movie. Also, I mean, maybe you don't want to get into going watching a movie about suicides.
Right, but then you have to tell everybody what every movie is about.
Yeah,
every movie, every book, every movie, every play, every song, right? If you're listening to the radio,
yes,
and someone writes a song about their mental health, and then you find out that that songwriter, and this is reality, has actually committed suicide, and that's the song they wrote 3 months before, do you need to be told ahead of time? I mean, I get it. I do. Telling somebody in this story, I don't even know about ahead of time, though the ratings should do it, right? Like, this is a horror movie.
Yes.
It's going to have scary shit. It's going to have blood and gore, maybe sex, language, and violence, or other themes that are adult related.
I mean, it is a PG-13, though.
I'm just talking in general.
Yeah.
If you're going to approach this film / play, book, story, whatever it is, podcast, be prepared. They will discuss, or it will discuss some issues that might cause you some mental distress. Now, I'm not opposed to that, but then you have to put that on everything. Because think about it. Bambi is about a dead mother.
I mean, and that would trigger some people.
Wizard of Oz is about, well, that's not really, it's traumatic, I guess.
I feel like if you are really bothered by a certain topic or thing, then it's up to you to do a little bit of research beforehand.
Yeah, and
if you're going to the cinema to see Woman in the Yard, just have a check somewhere, like there is a website that you can check what the content is, etc. Go and look and make your own,
I know, but the thing is, what kind of, I'm going to sound really cruel here, but I mean, what is that? You won't be able to go into life at all.
No, I mean,
you
there
can't
are
go to
people
work.
who are very delicate, though.
You can't go to work. Well, I'm retired, but I went to work for for decades, right? So you go to work, you don't know what subjects are going to be brought up in conversation constantly. 110 people in
Doesn't
the area.
even have to be work. It could be in the
I'm talking.
supermarket.
I'm specifically saying I
Right.
go to work. I'm being paid to go to work, but I don't know what the people next to me are going to talk about. I don't know that they're not going to discuss their issues with their marriage or with how hard it is to take care of children, or that their child has an ability issue with a wheelchair and that makes you feel bad. Like, what do you want the world to be? That there is absolutely no option for anyone anywhere to discuss anything until they get your pre-approval? Because I understand triggering. I understand things make you sad and upset and give you bad reactions. I get all that. It's just that how do you regulate, Where do you want that to be?
Yeah. So that is the IMDb reviews. Conclusion, let's give this movie a score. We didn't see any extras because we watched the streaming version. So I'm going to give Woman in the Yard a 6 out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 7 because I think the people and who made it did an excellent job of making it because it's quality.
Yeah, cinematography and acting is very good.
Maybe I'll give it a 7.2 just for the acting.
Yeah.
And I don't mind the story at all. It's just that flimsy kind of overall storytelling, but the story, the premise, the people, the vibe, the special effect.
Oh, I didn't mention, it has a really good sound.
Very good sound.
Like scary sound.
Yeah.
You can hear everything, like every jingle of a key or something really loud coming from behind you. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, the sound. So, yeah, I would mention. Well, actually, it seemed like it was well crafted all around, right?
Correct. That's why I'm raising my score.
And it didn't need many special effects because the woman in the yard lady is not like somebody's like conjuring up shit and throwing things at you.
I mean, we have the standard sort of ghost story, things flicking around and, you know.
But yeah, it's not full of special effects. And all the ones that they do are good. Like, it's just some furniture moves around and a knife kind of moves about, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's it, really. Nothing much else happens. Yeah. So yeah, if you're looking for action, it's not that kind of movie. So thank you to Blumhouse. And if you want to win a copy, I'll do the contest now. All you have to do is email me, ascully@ascully.com. That's ASCULLY @ascully.com. Tell me that you want to win a copy. It's a Movies Anywhere digital code, so it's US entries only. And I will send the 2 codes to the first 2 people who email me on Monday when this goes live. So, Sid Talk, what's next week's movie?
I don't know.
Next week's movie is A24's Death of a Unicorn.
Goodness, we're going right in the...
with Mr. Paul Rudd.
Right, you love Rudd, you love A24.
Yes.
I don't know your position on unicorns, but, you know.
I don't mind a unicorn. So, yeah, we'll look at that next week. Movie recommendations. I am going with The Shallows, which Blake Lively is it. And it is a lively old movie. It's full of shark action. And the guy who directed this movie, Jaume Collet-Serra, I thought he was the guy who directed Alien 4.
Okay, is not.
Because it's directed by a Frenchman, remember, Alien 4.
So you just assume every French director is...
I assume this Frenchman, where his name sounded very similar, was the Alien 4 guy. And then I was like, I always diss Alien 4, like thinking it. I think it's like the worst Alien movie of the Alien movies.
So
only
at the end. That's my only gripe.
The end is pretty shit.
I don't mind. I like all the aliens.
Everybody's really sweaty in Alien 4.
They are. Well, you know.
Sweaty as hell. So Alien 4, and that was my thought process. It was
you give it marks down because everyone's sweaty.
Yes. Too sweaty for me. And your ones are?
My ones are? I'm going for horror for all of the history of cinema. And I'm up to 1985, 85, 84, 85, 1984, 85 with... Oh, I'm at 85, 86 this week. Oh my God, my brain is clicking off. Okay, The Stuff, 1985. It's kind of like The Blob, The Fog, The Thing. You know what I mean? It's like that. House from 1985 also.
I like that movie.
Just House.
Yeah.
And then there's sequels. Then we have The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, which I believe is a series that happened at that time of Scooby-Doo.
Mm-hmm.
at the television, not movies. And then there's Aliens with an S.
The best.
Yeah. And Little Shop of Horrors, 1986, which I was never a huge fan of. I mean, I don't get the appeal of the singy-songy goofiness of it, but it exists and I've seen it. And there you go.
Nice.
Danke.
Hey, Scully stuff. I've been looking at a new game this week called Deathless, The Hero Quest. And I'll give you, as usual, the, synopsis off Steam.
Aye.
So it says, in Deathless, elements of a collectible card game, roguelike, and turn-based strategy combine seamlessly. Build a unique deck of cards, discover unusual relics, and defeat legendary bosses. No two runs will ever be the same. With endless path, crush the evil and save the world. So I've been playing a bit of this week. They sent me a key to play. It's from a Russian developer. And first off, I would say the menu caught my eye. It's really beautiful. It's a storybook. And you basically play this story inside this storybook. So your menu is a storybook. It opens and then you play the game like in it. And it's really a cool thing. And all the graphics inside when you play the cards and the little battles that you're playing, they're all hand-drawn, kind of marionette looking. Did you see this?
No.
It's a really cool art style. And I have ultra-wide monitors. And one of the things with ultra-wide monitors is most games don't support them. They just put black bars on either side. So, because they're 16:9 games. Well, this game fills your whole monitor without it being distorted or stretched. So that was another cool thing. So what it is, you're collecting cards and you're going out on this adventure and the combat is turn-based and you're using cards to defeat, kind of like Hearthstone, if you've played a game like that. It's a story as well. So after each battle, when you win, you get to choose which direction you want to go, like one of those tell your own story books from the old days. Okay. So it'll say like go left, go right, go middle. You choose which way you go, and then you'll get another enemy to fight. And you've just got to work your way through and get to the end of a run, ultimately beating the final boss. Again, you're not going to do this the first time because it's a roguelike type game. You're woefully underpowered at the beginning. And as you go along, you collect new cards, you get new powers, you get new items, and each run will be slightly easier for you because you will be getting more powered up. So it's the kind of game that you need to play over and over and over and over. There's a game called Slay the Spire, which is a giant, massive hit that a lot of people have played, and it's down as one of the best roguelike card games going. This is like that. If you like that, this is like that, but with more interesting graphics, because that game is older. I was going to find out how much this costs. It's on Steam. It cost $24.99. And these type of games, for me, they're the kind where I can just play them over and over and over and over. And in 10 years' time, I could still play a round of it. So I always think whatever they cost, $24.99 is not the price of a full game. If you like this type of game, you're going to get your money's worth. I also tried it on the Steam Deck, and it works perfectly on the Steam Deck. So if you want a game to play on the run, handheld, it's also great.
Well, what kind of person can run and play a game? That is impressive.
I mean, people do. They run, they play the Steam Deck. So yes, it works well on Steam Deck, obviously works well on PC. It's called Deathless, The Hero Quest. It's out now on Steam, and it is $24.99. Sid Talk, what's for dinner?
Well, that's to be determined. We discussed pizza because commercials got in our head.
But I
don't know if I want to go anywhere.
Well, pizza usually comes to you.
Well, not the one I want.
Oh, that's true.
The one I want is Casey's Pizza. And you said Casey's Pizza never comes to your mind when you think of pizza. Well, I told you, I'm from a small town. From the time I was a teenager, it was the only store in town that had pizza. Then my mom managed one for many years. And she lived within maybe 50 feet of the store. So when we would go visit her, you'd walk over to the store, She'd say, oh, honey, let's put a pizza in for my kids. They're up at the house. And then we'd have pizza every single time. We'd have pizza for breakfast. We'd have pizza for Christmas. We had pizza for Thanksgiving a couple times. So Casey's, to me, means pizza. Yeah. Then I grew up and went to places that had pizza delivery. It was shocking.
Well, it is pretty good, I must say.
And then my advice, were you going to ask me for my advice?
Yes.
My advice, number one, is that Casey's Pizza is pretty good. And number two is very short and simple. And this time, my advice is advice? Is it? It's a...
I don't know. Only you can say.
Well, no, it's open to interpretation. It's very simple. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. One thing at a time.
Sweet Jesus.
No, none of that. Just one thing at a time, because that's one day at a time, by the way. This is literally one thing at a time. And speaking of mental health and like how we cope with life, that is... You can scoff at it and roll your eyes at it and be
scoff.
You know, oh, people are too soft and they're too weak, whatever. Like, if you want to rule the fucking world and build the biggest buildings and build the biggest bridges and all that shit, you know why you want to do that? Because something in you, some level of your emotional intelligence, your mental capacity, your experiences and how you've coped or feel like you've coped with life has led you to the combination of your personality and all of that emotion to make those decisions. Nobody wants to run the world who doesn't have some sort of emotional breakage. I mean, there's no fucking way, right?
Yeah.
So from that scale, like, oh, I want to run the world, I'm going to make steps to have the whole world at my heels, blah, blah, blah. From that all the way down to you wake up in the morning and you realize the garage is really needs to be cleaned out. And it's a lot. It's a lot, right? It's a lot of stuff. We accumulate a lot of stuff. And then for some reason, it can become a mental baggage for you. Like, oh, the garage, right? You look at it and you're like, I can't cope. It's too much. Where do I start? Literally one thing at a time. There are days when, like, you know, I go in the garage and I'm like, oh, it's just, I've just accumulated too much shit and it's not organized and I like things to be semi-organized. And if I go in there and I move one thing, I'm not even kidding, I can go over to the pile of stuff on a table and be like, okay, so this thing, this tool needs to go on the tool shelf because I do have the beginnings of organization. I take that tool, I find a nice spot for it, I tidy up that shelf a little bit, I walk away. I'm like, that is good. That made me feel like I've accomplished something. Now, if the task in front of me was, oh, look at all these people who were just in a horrible accident, they all need help, I'm not going to go, oh, I can. I'm going to just go over here and put a Band-Aid on your cut and I'm going to walk away. I don't mean that. I mean, like, just in general life, right? Everyday stuff.
I see. Like
laundry. We don't have a lot of laundry and you always do it. But I can imagine, because I know when I was a kid, there were 4 kids, 2 grown-ups in the house. And it seemed like my mom was in a never-ending cycle.
She was.
Of laundry, and she hated it. It was boring. It was so she'd kind of trick you into being like, hey, come in here and help me fold the towels. Let's watch Brady Bunch while you help me fold the towels, you know, because she was so bored with it. And that was it. One thing at a time. Pick up one little laundry, do that, fold it, put it away, whatever the circumstance is, even if it's an emotional pile. Like today, maybe you're upset and sad about 50 things and it's too much. Well, think of one of them, right? Put it in there, sort it out, categorize it, cry if you got to, scream at the neighbor dog if you got to, whatever helps. Oh, that's another pile of stuff. I just think that if you boil it all down and you can cope with one thing at a time, you turn around at some point and what's happened? You've dealt with a lot of things. You know, give yourself some credit. That juggling, like a performer, that's not productive, really, is it? Unless you're in a really bad situation that requires it. So here it is. One thing at a time.
All right. Thank you, Sidzak.
Yeah, genius. I know. Oh, what can I say?
Let me just mention the contest one more time.
Please do.
If you want to win a copy of Woman in the Yard on Movies Anywhere Digital Code and you're in the US, just email me, ascully@ascully.com, and you can win one of 2 copies. The first 2 people to email me will get the copies on Monday. So yeah, win. It's worth watching. It's a good win. ascully.com, that's the place you can go to get this podcast. Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky. Those are the places you can go to catch us on social media. You can also catch the podcast on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, YouTube, anywhere that podcasts are available. Email feedback to me, ascully@ascully.com. Email Sid Talk at your peril. And stay classy, Blumhouse, because this was a classy Blumhouse movie.
Nice. And I'm going to say think for yourself, because if you're not doing it, someone is doing it for you, my darling.